for the right side.
It's about a run.
I don't know, that's a question.
He's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm like, where do you live?
I think we're,
If you don't mind me asking, he's like, and he told me, I was like,
all right.
we're live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube. Smile.
So does that make us influencers now?
I'm up and playing hashtag.
We're the +5.
Find a way to monetize this.
That my hashtag.
Yeah.
All right, it is 5:30, so we are going to call the June 21st, 2023 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. Ms. Blankenhorn, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Boucher.
Here.
Ms. Cunningham. Mr. Percy.
Here.
Mrs. Simpson.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mrs. Arianotto.
Here.
Mr. Eister. We have a quorum.
With that, the Susie Simpson is here, and the June 21 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting is called to order. All right, first item before us is approval of the May 17th, 2023 meeting minutes. Is there a motion regarding the approval of the minutes?
I move.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Opposed, same sign. With that, the May 17th, 2023 Board of Zoning Appeals minutes are approved as presented. First case before us is 2023-BZA-12.1 1560 Venture Drive variance for primary structure height. Is there a proponent of the proposed variance request before us? Come up and be sworn in. There's a card there you're going to read to be sworn in.
My name is Vaibhav Patel. My address is 1039 Riviera Way, Macedonia, Ohio. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
All right, what are we trying to, looks like this is the variance for primary structure height, so what are we trying to achieve, Mr. Patel?
As I said, my name is Vaibhav Patel. I'm with Ramatika Management, Archandat LLC. We are a primary hospitality development group. It's a family business. We build, construct hotels and then operate them for a long amount of time. We are proposing to build a Hampton Inn by Hilton in Mount Vernon, and that's what we're requesting a variance on the height and also a setback variance on the patio.
And I think we're doing them as, they're listed as two separate, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the height first, so we'll discuss the height, do a motion, and then move to the second variance, because that's the way they're broken down on our, so you're requesting a variance so the building roof trusses are actually 40 feet,
Yes.
6 3/4 inches, which GB is a maximum of 35 feet. And then the roof line and architectural elements are 57 feet 10 inches.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I was just trying to look here. So that's,
She gave us to share.
Miss Blankenhorn, was there a variance on the Holiday Inn? Do we know the height of that? Because I feel like there had to have been on that one
I
as
think it's
well.
only 3 stories though.
It is, okay.
Let me see. It's been, I don't know if I can find the archives or not.
And how many rooms is this going to be?
99 rooms. It's a 99 room.
And how high?
57.
Or I mean, how many stories?
4 stories.
4.
And I do see that we had a previous, the last variance on height and GB was for the Wright family pavilion, is that correct?
Yes.
At 83 feet, so that's substantially higher than this one.
It's too old for our computerized system.
Okay, all right.
2002, 2003, 20 years.
I just felt like that feels like it's about the same height, but maybe it's not.
It's going to be very close, and the only reason I can say that the Holiday Inn Express has what they call as a pitch roof, which is very high elevation. Then they also have a tower. So our highest, when you say 57 feet, that's the elevator tower. So that goes above,
Mhm.
about the roof. But if you look at, I don't know their drawings or anything, but we have seen 3-story buildings with the pitch roof and 4-story building with the flat roof. They are very close, very close to each other if you remove the tower part
Mhm.
of it. Another big part is there's two different levels of parapet wall, the architectural structure. After you step down from 57 feet, it goes to about 53 or 54 feet high. That's again a parapet wall that's required by the brand for its signage. I don't know if you guys have the drawings or not, but it's got
Yeah.
right there. Yeah. So this right here is additional height, and then this is the
Okay.
lowest parapet, or whatever you call it.
So the overall, the building's actually lower than the height. It's just that one section and the
This one section.
Yeah.
upper, the other wall on the
And
one
that's the
side.
elevator
This
shaft.
section right here
Uh-huh.
is 57. Top of that is 57.
Uh-huh.
This section right here, top of that is 54 feet.
And then it looks like the rest of the building is actually 8
Yeah,
feet
this
lower.
would this section right here is 49 feet. This is where this is the third architectural parapet wall, and the roof trusses that goes above the window. That's at 40 and a half, something like that.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any additional questions for Mr. Patel? All right. Are there any other proponents of the proposed variance request that would like to speak for us? Are there any opponents of the proposed variance requests? Mr. Hillier, come on up. Thank you, Mr. Patel. We'll get back on the second part, so just stay ready.
My name is Mike Hillier. My address is 215 East Sugar Street. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, to so help me God, or under penalty of perjury. I'm also the City Council, Planning and Zoning. There again, no proponent against whatever, but have questions and know where to put it. I couldn't find, or how to find, how high is Danbury. This is pretty much the backyard of Danbury. Just something to think
It's
about.
3 stories.
Mm-hmm.
And is this is by odd lots?
Correct.
Across
Yeah.
this,
If you
yeah.
go out odd lots,
Yeah.
on the left.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did Danbury get a variance?
I don't believe so.
So it'd be lower than the
I don't,
required footage. And the zoning for this is,
GB.
so basically, I'm not for or against, it's something to think about going forward. So we set this, we approve this, so pretty much the next guy comes up, it's in zone, the GB is gonna just say, you did it, we're just setting precedents of what we're doing. Just a thought. I know you don't like to use that term, but it's hard to fight it.
Well, then, I was looking at, because we did 30 feet. So we, as an example, the apartment development that's going on North Mulberry Street, I believe we gave him 40 feet, and that's in neighborhood commercial, and that's the max height there is only 30. So we gave them 10. So this is in that range. Okay.
The Danbury permit says that it's 33 feet.
Okay.
And this is what?
50.
57 feet 10
57.
inches
57
for
with
the
the
elevator shaft.
elevator shaft.
Mhm.
Right there. Well, I don't know where yours went.
Something to think about. Thank you.
Right here. The elevator shaft's the highest.
And then
All
it goes
right.
to 54 to 49.
57,
Yeah.
54, 49.
All right. Any other proponents regarding the proposed variance request? I would entertain a motion regarding the proposed
Would
variance
you like to
request.
see if there's any
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry.
communication?
I'm out of practice. We haven't had a meeting for like 3 weeks. That's so weird. We there for a while. We were going every 2 weeks. I'm sorry, Miss Blankenhorn. Is there any written or verbal communication regarding the proposed variance request?
We did not receive any outside communication, but I do
Okay.
have a staff report.
All right, if you would read that into the record, please.
June 21st, 2023, case 2023 BZA 12 for 1560 Venture Drive, parcel number 66-09675.003. Vaibhav Patel requests for R. Chandat LLC variances to construct a 4-story hotel at 1560 Venture Drive. The requested 57 feet 10 inch maximum overall height is a variance from code section 1167.03B1, which has a maximum height of 35 feet. There are a number of structures in the GB district exceeding the code maximum, including 3 buildings on the hospital campus, the newest constructed in 2019 at 83 feet.
Alright.
I combined my staff report for
I
the
see that,
next
yeah.
portion.
So-
So it says the requested 10 feet west side setback is a variance from code section 1167.03A4, requiring a 15 feet side yard for structures. There is a water line on the adjacent property in the turf area, restricting any further development in that area of the parcel. The pink line in the image below represents the property line.
That's for case 12.2. We'll
Yeah.
get to
I
okay.
split it up in case you did
Yep.
2 motions. It makes it easier in the software ahead of time,
Understand.
but we can certainly combine if you want to.
Okay. So I would, so that's all the communication. I would entertain a motion regarding 2023-BZA-12.1.
I move that we accept the variance as proposed.
And there's a motion. Is there a second?
A second?
Any further discussion amongst the board?
The only one question I have is, does the new zoning code or the proposed code contain the same type of height restrictions, or are those, do we anticipate those being different?
I don't believe we've reached that section yet.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
that would be correct.
All right. No further discussion? Ms. Blankenhorn, call the roll.
Ms. Boucher,
Yes.
Mr. Percy,
Yes.
Mrs. Simpson,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes,
Mrs. Arianada.
Yes.
With that, 2023-BZA-12.1 is approved as submitted. All right, the second part of this case, 2023-BZA-12.2, 1560 Venture Drive, variance for side setback for patio. Mr. Patel, would you come back up and discuss what you're doing here? And I'll remind you, you are under oath. Or do we, no, is it a new case?
No.
No? Okay.
Is that okay?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have, by the brand, Hampton requires to have a patio in the back, for our guests who have comes in, for the families or the working people to, sit down at the back. So they have that patio sign over there, and, we're asking for the reason from that patio.
And that was, and if I'm understanding the drawing, Ms. Blankenhorn, that was given to us by your office, so that's going to border the area that's not going to be able to be developed anyway.
Correct.
So it's essentially a 22-foot variance because there's 12 feet there that's not going to be able to be developed. Okay.
They would have to get creative if they want to develop it because of the water line being
Okay.
in there.
Plus, it's only 12 feet wide, right?
No, it
Or
was
no?
a little wider than that.
Okay. Oh, it's a 12-inch water line.
Yeah, that's a 12-inch water
Okay,
line.
all right, that's what all right, okay. All right, any questions of Mr. Patel regarding the patio? All right, thank you. Are there any other proponents of the proposed variance request for the side setback? Are there any opponents of the proposed variance request? Any additional written or verbal communication regarding the proposed variance request?
Nothing further.
If not, I would entertain a motion regarding 2023-BZA 12.2. Is there a motion regarding this request?
Sure, I move.
Ms. Simpson makes the motion to do what, Ms. Simpson?
To accept this variance as submitted.
All right, thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Ms. Boucher. Any further discussion regarding the proposed variance request? All right. Please call the roll.
Ms. Boucher,
Yes.
Mr. Percy,
Yes.
Mrs. Simpson,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Arianada.
Yes.
All right, with that, 2023-BZA-12.2 is approved as submitted. Thank you. Next case, 2023-BZA-13, 123 East Gambier Street, variance for fence height. Is there a proponent of the proposed variance request before us?
Did you say 1, 2, 3?
Yep,
That's me.
yep, come on up.
And my faithful assistant here has brought me my additional papers.
All right. All right, please be sworn in.
Okay, my name is Marie Garrick. My address is 123 East Gambier Street. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
All right, what are we trying to achieve?
I am asking for a small variance on the side street, Mackenzie Street side of our property. Currently, because we're on a corner lot, we, as Ms. Blankenhorn put it, we have 2 front yards, and so we have to abide by the side street setback as well. We are attempting, because we have a very small piece of property, to expand the usable space within our fence, and so we would like to push the fence closer to the side street. That would involve, so Gambier Street is here, this is Mackenzie Street. Because of our garage, our setback, technically speaking, would be here, and therefore we would only be allowed to have a 36-foot high fence.
Inch, not foot.
What was that?
36 inch.
36 inch foot.
That's a big fence.
One of the reasons I'm requesting a 4-foot fence there is that, I don't know if you can show the other image, because our property is built up. This is my lovely stick figure drawing. Our property is, like many of the properties in the historic district, it's above grade. And if we put a tiny little 36-inch fence towards the bottom of the hill, I'm worried that guests, children, as they're running at the top of the hill, could fall onto the fence and be injured. Or our dog, for example, would just be able to launch herself directly over. So it's really a safety problem, and I don't think that 12 additional inches will impact our the aesthetic of the historic district in any way. It's going to look the same as the rest of the fencing that we would apply.
Has historical review? Has this been to historical review yet?
It has not.
Does it need to go to historical review?
Likely, yes.
Okay, all right, just checking.
I did bring letters from neighbors who have voiced their support. I don't know if you would like me to pass them around. One is from Sam and Paula Baroni, who live diagonally behind us, so from their yard they'd be able to see our that area of the fence. Another is from, no, they didn't give me one of them. The other is from the person who lives directly behind us, so they are the ones that are closest in proximity. Diana Williams, who's at 101 South Mackenzie Street. I also have another one at home from Ruth Johnson, who lives directly next door to us on the opposite side. This wouldn't really impact her because she wouldn't really be able to see that area of the fence, but I don't know where that letter is.
Ms. Blankenhorn, would you take those and just put them in the record? Is that the appropriate? All right.
Looks like they gave me 2 copies, so.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? All right, thank you. Are there any other proponents of the proposed variance request? And hold on. Let's do my math here. 4 feet tall. Do we know how far back from this?
I put 2 feet on my original mock-up, so 2 feet from the from the
Setback?
No, 2 feet from the sidewalk. So
So,
there's room for landscaping between the sidewalk and the fence. Does that
Are you
make sense?
taking those bushes and trees out?
Yes, it's awful.
Oh.
so the question I have is, does that, can you do 36 right up on the sidewalk?
It can be on the property line.
Okay. So you don't have to comply with any setbacks there.
I'm pulling up the property
Okay.
to see where the property lines are. It's typically the back of the sidewalk.
That she's 2 feet off.
Sometimes on these side yards, they're a little tricky as to where the
Where the
actual
actual-
setback is, and that's what I want to make sure that we're not allowing
Are you
you
talking
to,
about the property line?
the setback. Or the
But there is no setback
setback
on the
on the-
fence.
Okay, on a 4 foot there isn't?
Well, she's asking for
Yeah,
variance for the
I just want to get the variance right, yes.
Ooh.
So it's looking like she is proposing to put it on the property line. Based on the auditor's website, let me see if I can
There has been a survey done because we do have survey pins between, that I can see between our house and the Johnson house, which is to the west of us on Gambier Street, but I've never seen survey pins over
Yeah.
on the east side of the house.
That's what we just have to clarify, because we can't let you put a fence not on it. Just because the sidewalk's there doesn't necessarily mean that's where the
That's where
property
it
line
is.
is. So that's what we
So
can't.
does that mean the city gets to maintain my shrubs?
Nope.
Nope. Trust me.
Wishful thinking?
Having lived a block and a half from there for years, I was hoping they would maintain my garage that was actually on city. In the
I was lucky we didn't make you move it.
I know.
So based on that, it looks like comparing her drawing to this, the fence would be right on the property line.
Okay. Okay.
But materially, it doesn't change anything about the usability of the sidewalk, or the safety of the sidewalk, or the safety of the stop sign at Mackenzie Street.
What about getting in and out of your garage? Is that fence going to prove to be in your line of sight when you're pulling out into the street?
No, we don't really even park in our garage.
Okay.
Our driveway's pretty small, and our garage is actually getting, the foundation is getting repaired soon, so
Okay.
we can't be in parking in the garage.
All right. So we asked proponents. Any opponents? Any written or verbal communication regarding the proposed request? Ms. Blankenhorn.
I have the staff report.
Okay.
June 21st, 2023, case 2023 BZA 13 for 123 East Gambier Street, parcel number 66-06213.000. Marie Goods Garrick, request a variance for fence height to install a 4 feet tall fence between the back of her home and the garage on her corner lot. Landscaping is planned between the fence and the public sidewalk. The proposed fence would not impair sight lines for automobiles traveling on the public street. The image below shows the existing fence. The plans show the proposed 4 feet fence would be moved toward the street near the top of the steps leading into the backyard.
All right. I would entertain a motion regarding the proposed variance request.
I would move that the variance request be approved by this zoning board of appeals.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
What?
Figured it was my turn.
Okay, second from Ms. Arianata. Any additional discussion regarding the proposed variance request? Ms. Blankenhorn, call the roll, please.
Ms. Boucher,
Yes.
Mr. Percy,
Yes.
Mrs. Simpson,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Arianata.
Yes.
With that, 2023 BZA-13 is approved as presented. Is there any additional business before us?
I have nothing further.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I have
So
a motion.
Motion and a second from Ms. Boucher.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you all for your time.
You want these, Lacey?
Sure.
Well, you have fun cooking.
What are you cooking?
I don't know what he's cooking.